class of biology, and today we will continue with our chapter that is plant life. Okay, in our last class we have discussed about the leaves, okay, types of leaves, arrangement of leaves and all. I hope you all go through that video and again you saw the types of leaves in your garden and examine the types of leaves and arrangement of leaves. So today we will see the last part of our chapter, that is the modification of leaves. Okay, so if we will talk about modification, what do you mean by modification? Modification means suppose see what is the main function of leaf? The main function of leaf is to prepare food for the plant. If leaf will modify to some other structure and it will perform some specific function other than preparation of food, we call that kind of leaf as modified leaf. Again I am repeating, if leaf will modify to some structure and it will perform a particular function other than preparation of food, because preparation of food is the main function of leaf. If it will perform some other function rather than preparation of food, we call that kind of leaf as modified leaf, okay, or modification of leaf. The definition also I have written just now. I told, when leaves get modified to form or perform special function other than food synthesis is called modified leaf or modification of leaf. The same we can say modified stem, we can say modified root, but now we will only go through the modification of leaf. Other than preparation of food, any other function if you will perform, then we call that leaf as modified leaf. So let's see what all are the modified leaves. Number one, here I have written for support. As I said now, other than food synthesis. So first work for modified leaf we will discuss for support. Some leaves modify themselves to support the plant. For example, we can take some climbers. You can take pumpkin or you can take a pea plant. Okay. Generally, the climbers have weak stems and they generally needs a support to grow. So you might have seen there is a coiled-like structure arises by the side of the stem, and that is a leaf. That is actually a leaf. Remember, modified leaves never appear like a normal leaf. Okay, you cannot say that it is a leaf, but that is actually the leaf of that plant which get modified to provide support to the plant. Okay, so here I have written to make you ease, I have written location, structure and function. Likewise I have written. So let's see what is a modified leaf for support. Here I have written tendrils. Okay, leaf tendrils also we can say. Actually here it should be mentioned leaf tendrils because there are some tendrils of stems also. Okay, so tendrils of leaves, where they are located? Present in some climbers. Okay, tendrils are present specifically in some climbers. Structure, it is slender and coiled in structure. As I said, if this is the stem, then like this structure it will form. Coiled like structure. Okay, coiled structure. It will also have normal leaf. Along with the normal leaf, it will also have a coiled wire like structure. That structure we call it as tendril or leaf tendril. Function, as I said, it helps the plant to climb. Okay, helps the plant to climb. Again I am repeating, the structure of tendril is, we can say it is slender or coiled in structure. What is the location? Present in some of the climbers. And what is the function? Helps to climb the plant. Example we can write here, pea plant. Okay, pea plant is an example of climber which bears tendril, leaf tendrils. Second, for protection. Here it offers for support. The second one is for protection. Sometimes leaves also modify themselves to protect the plant. Okay, from whom it will protect? It will protect it from grazing animals. Okay, it will protect it from transpiration. So we will discuss. Number one, first one I have written thorns. Thorns are generally located in some plants. Here I have given you the example of barberry. Okay, barberry is a kind of berry, red color berries are there. You can see over the stems it had, here I am drawing the structure. If this is the stem of a barberry, it also had its normal leaf. Okay, along with that it develops spine or thorns. We can say this as thorns. Okay, normal leaves and some thorn. Okay, so it helps the plant to protect. Why it needs protection? As I said, these plants carry berry. Okay, barberry, which is sweet in taste. So generally grazing animals, they want to take that berry as their food. So these thorns protect the barberry plant from grazing animals. So here I have written location present in the stems of some plants other than the normal leaf. Other than the normal leaf, a kind of thorn present in some stems of some plants. Structure, it is very sharp. Okay, it is very sharp in appearance. Function, protects the plant from grazing animal. As I said, it protects the plant from grazing animals like a cow or dog. Okay, example barberry. You can give the example of barberry. Second one, spines. Spines are generally the location I have written. It is present in some desert plants. Okay, you can also take an example of aloe vera. It is very simple to find. So spines are located in some desert plants and structure prickly-like structure like this. Just same as like thorn only. Okay, and if you will take an example of prickly pear. Okay, like this plants you might have seen, we can also call it as opuntia plant. Okay, like these plants are there and they have developed like this structure over their leaves. Throughout their leaves they have developed like this spine-like structures. This is called spines. So what is the work of spine? As I said, spines are generally present in desert plants and there are scarcity of water in desert. There is a scarcity of water in desert. So plants should store more water for them, or else they will find difficulty for photosynthesis to prepare their food. So they develop spines over their leaves so that the loss of water will be minimized. When plants are exposed to sunlight, they will lose water in the form of vapor. That term is known as transpiration. I think you all are acquainted with this term, transpiration. Transpiration is the loss of water from the outer part, or we can say from the aerial parts of plant. So to minimize transpiration, some of the desert plants develop spines over their leaves. We call it as spines, and it also protects them from animals. Next, number 3. For food storage. Some of the leaves helps for storage of food. See, here we are discussing about the modified leaves. I said they will perform other than food synthesis. Here that's why at first we have discussed for support, second for protection, and third now we are discussing for food storage. Some of the leaves, very simple example I am giving you, onion. Okay, onion generally regularly we are taking it. Here I also have an onion for you. Here you can see the outer leaf, okay, which we generally peeling up. This is also a leaf, but what we call this leaf as scale leaf. Okay, this leaf which is to the outer wall of onion, we call it a scale leaf. Okay, this is the scale leaf of onion. Below the scale leaf, you can see there are layers of some little fleshy in structure. The scale leaf is very thin, and below the scale leaf, if you will see, it is little fleshy in structure. Okay, we call it as fleshy leaf. Okay, outer one is the scale leaf, and below the scale leaf, it got fleshy leaves. So scale leaves protect the onion, and the fleshy leaf stores food, which we take it as our food. This is actually a leaf. How it is present? You can see it is just like ring manner, in the manner of ring. Okay, and it stores food, which we generally take it as our food. So it is a very simple example and very easy for you to identify. So here I have written example onion. It has the outer scaly leaf which protects the onion, and below the scaly leaf it has a fleshy leaf which stores food for the plant, and we also take that as a food. Here this fourth one, let's discuss. For capturing insects, some leaves modify themselves to capture insects. So when we are talking about capturing insect, suddenly the insectivorous plants come to our mind. So insectivorous plants are the kinds of plants that takes insects as their food. Generally, what are the requirement of plant to prepare food? Dissolved mineral and water, carbon dioxide, sunlight in the presence of chlorophyll. These insectivorous plants, they bear leaf. It's not that they do not bear leaf, but then also they take insect. Why I am saying? Because an important mineral for plant is nitrogen. Remember, nitrogen is a very essential mineral for the growth of plant. But plants cannot take nitrogen directly from atmosphere. Why? We will discuss in some other chapter in our chemistry. Okay, plants cannot take nitrogen directly from atmosphere, and these kinds of insectivorous plants, they generally grow in a kind of soil where nitrogen is absent in that soil. So what they are doing? They are capturing insects, and they will take all the nitrogen content of that insect to fulfill their nitrogen requirement. Remember, insectivorous plants also undergo photosynthesis. It's not that every time they are taking insects. Rather, other than photosynthesis, they also capture insects. Why? Because by photosynthesis only they cannot fulfill their nitrogen requirement. That's why they capture insects and they take out all the nitrogen content of that insect to fulfill the nitrogen requirement of the plant. Okay, so if we can take two examples of insectivorous plant, there are some others also. Pitcher plant and Venus flytrap. These are very common examples. Also, sundew is another one insectivorous plants. So, pitcher plant. First, let's talk about a pitcher plant. Pitcher plant, it generally modifies its leaf and it looks like pitcher shape. What is pitcher shape? See, like this. Okay, and here above it, it has a lid. Okay, to close it, and then it is like this. It is attached to the stem. Okay, so this is the stem. From here, the leaf started. This is also the part of leaf. Okay. It holds the pitcher. This is the pitcher. Okay, this is the pitcher, and you can see just to the apex of to the top of the pitcher there is a lid to open and close. So what happened inside this pitcher? It got nectar. What is nectar? Nectars are the honey or the food for bees and insects. So what happened when some insect, so just take an example of a bee, okay, when they will search for their nectar, when they will search for their food, they will enter inside the pitcher, okay. After getting enter inside the pitcher, they will go inside pitcher will close its leaf and the insect now cannot able to come back outside and get digested, get chewed inside the pitcher. So this is a pitcher plant which takes insects and they take their nitrogen content inside their body to fulfill their nitrogen requirement. Another plant here I have written Venus flytrap. Venus flytrap is generally having a structure like this. It has two lobes or two leaves, and on the margin of the leaves it has generally like this structure, hinge like structure. Okay, you might have seen the rolling combs. Generally girls are using to roll their hairs. Just like that structure it develops over its leaves. Okay, so what happened when insect will come to capture its nectar? Okay, when an insect will come to capture its nectar, so what happened? The leaf of the leaves will be like this, and when insect will sit to capture its nectar, the leaf will slowly close. Okay, after closing the leaf, the insects cannot come out again and get digested inside the leaf. Same as in pitcher plant, only the shapes are different. In pitcher plants the leaf is little in pitcher shape, and in insectivorous plants it has generally hinged or small thorn like structure over the margin of the leaf. It generally remain open, and when the insect will go inside, it slowly close its leaf so that the insect will remain inside and it will digest the insect. Remember one thing, insectivorous plants also undergo photosynthesis, but to fulfill their nitrogen requirement, they capture insects. So these are some two examples of insectivorous plants. Here I have written, they trap insects to fulfill their nitrogen requirement. Okay, the last one or the fifth one is, we can say, vegetative propagation. Before going to vegetative propagation, let me explain you what is vegetative and what is propagation. Vegetative means, if you remember in our first class we have discussed, flower is the reproductive part of a plant. So other than the reproductive part, what all are the parts remain in a plant? Roots, stems and leaves. These are called vegetative parts of plant. Again I am repeating, there are two parts of plant, there are two parts in a plant, vegetative part and reproductive part. Vegetative parts are generally roots, stems and leaves. Reproductive part of a plant is flower. About flower we will have discussion in our next chapter. So vegetative part of a plant means other than reproductive part. We can generally take it as root, stem and leaves. What is propagation? Propagation means, a very easy example I am giving you. Suppose the stem of a rose plant. Generally we cut the stem of a rose plant and we take the stem and put it in some other place so that a new rose plant will grow. This kind of taking out the vegetative part, put it in some other place and to grow a new plant, this method is called propagation. Propagation means to take it from one place and to put it in some other place so that we can develop a new plant as that of the original plant. That is called propagation. So here I have given one example, bryophyllum. Some of you might have in your garden this bryophyllum leaves. So what is the appearance of bryophyllum leaf? It is generally like this in structure, and at the margin of the leaf, this is the leaf margin, here it will develop small leaves of bryophyllum and again small roots downward. Got it? Small leaves and small roots. Again small leaves and small extended roots. So what happened? After some time or after some days, after maturation of the small leaf, it will be detached or it will come out from the original leaf or the parent leaf, and it will fall down. When it will fall down, it will grow itself as a bryophyllum plant. Or else we can also take out the small leaf of the bryophyllum plant and we can put or we can insert it in some other place, and we can observe that one new bryophyllum leaf gets one new bryophyllum leaf will emerge from the ground. So this is called vegetative propagation. There are some other examples also we will have in our higher classes. Only one example here given, bryophyllum. Bryophyllum is a leaf. It develops. Here I have written see, develop adventitious bud. This is called adventitious bud. Okay, adventitious bud. Remember, this is a kind of bud developed on the margin of the leaf, and when it gets detached from the parent leaf, it will develop into a new bryophyllum plant. This kind of propagation we call it as vegetative propagation. Here, what is the part which gets propagated? The leaf. As I said, vegetative propagation includes only vegetative parts, stem, leaf or root. Here, the propagation of leaves takes place. So these all are the modification of leaves we have discussed. Just go through it, prepare short notes for you, okay, and next class we will have some more discussion, okay. Till then, thank you.